Welcome to the Social Millennial Podcast. Gang, we out here repping NYC. You feel me? Repping the human race. You feel me? COVID-19 is doing this thing, but we bouncing back little by little by little by little by little. Last week we talked about this wild article about some dude that's not even from here talking about how New York is dying, how New York is dead and ain't coming back. I'm very glad to say I don't remember if it was the New York Post or not, but there are articles out there now talking about how NYC is rising from the ashes. You feel me, cuz? But welcome back. Sorry about last week. Many apologies. I know how the algorithms work, and I also know that people expect things to be on time and in a timely manner. If y'all realize that I'm dropping at 7 or whenever y'all wake up and y'all are doing y'all commute, that y'all are able to partake in the podcast, I'm sure a lot of you noticed that it was not there in that time. Now, it was not my fault. The distributor kind of jacked up. You know, it was a systems error kind of thing going on. I had to kill that upload and just re-upload again, and so it showed back up. But sorry, y'all. Sorry for the delay, even for an hour, even for a minute, even for a dang second. You feel me? We should not be delaying the fire, delaying the flames. But anyway, we had a lot happen. A lot dropped this week. DC had their event, which was pretty fire. I'm not gonna talk too much about news in terms of world news and local New York news. This podcast, I've been doing that for each and every podcast. I just feel like talking about stuff that happened that I thought were fire, and a lot of the things that happened that I thought were fire had to do with DC. And of course, I'm gonna talk about WAP. Yes, I'm late. You know, I'm not gonna be chasing the bandwagon of clicks and whatnot and trying to feed algorithms to try to get views and so on and so forth. We don't do that here on the Social Millennial Podcast. You feel me? I'm not out here trying to be like everybody else, trying to jump on whatever trendy wave is going down to try to get views. You feel me? We talk about what we talk about whenever we feel like talking about it. You feel me? Yeah. So I think I'm going to get it out. I'm going to get WAP out the way first. WAP happened. Some people were tight. Some people loved it. Most people, I think, from what I can tell, most people loved it. Most people understood what it was. The percentage of people were ambivalent, I guess, for lack of a better term. Indifferent, better term. We're indifferent. Cardi B, those who were indifferent just don't listen to her anyway. And then a surprising amount of people were up in arms, talking about the culture and the state of the culture and the depiction of women and so on and so forth in hip hop. Now, a valid topic and a valid subject for scrutiny, discussion, study, most certainly. However, male-dominated hip-hop has been talking about women's booties and dips and hips and curls and twirls and curves and swerves for as long as hip-hop's been around. You feel me? And it's gone the entire gamut. It's run the gamut. It's run the spectrum. It's went from left to right, hot to cold, as to how vulgar it gets. And then once in a while, when women decide that they want to take ownership of their own bodies and do what they want to do and call it whatever they want to call it, we want to start getting up in arms about the culture, about the thing. I mean, people have been up in arms about the culture for a long time, but since the beginning of hip hop, have been up in arms about hip hop and the culture and where it's going, especially when it comes to sexuality / misogyny and so on. Let women do what they got to do. If ladies are in the hip hop game and they want to rap about the WAP, I think y'all should be free to rap about the WAP. Y'all should be free to call whatever body part you want to call whatever name. in whatever style and whatever language y'all want to call it. That's how I feel about it. You're taking ownership of who you are, what you want to be, how you want to be perceived. Just do it. The same way we got in hip hop, same way we got, them hood niggas, let me not get too Bronx. Let me turn the meter down. Let me cool it off, cool it out. Same way you got them hood, you feel me? In hip hop. And it's the same way you got, the conscious stuff that ain't so hood. You feel me? The same way you got, 50 is the same way you got Logic. We've got all of that diversity. There's conscious female rappers, conscious lady rappers, you feel me? Conscious lady MCs. And then, there's that twerk music, you feel me? There's a place for all of it. That's my point. There is a place for all of it. Everyone's got their lane, and just let them do what they do in their lane. You feel me? Now, WAP. The song, it ain't hitting. At least not for me. I know it hit for mad people. I feel like WAP was a song that benefited from the visual. The lyrics, the bars are not there. They're really, really not there. Like, I know Cardi, and no offense, Cardi. I'm not trying to, BX, High Bridge, you feel me? Represent, BX. Feed me, represent. But I know you don't write your bars like that. I know you have some input. I've seen the writing credits. I don't know what happened. What happened in the writer's room? What happened in the first, second, third draft of this song? Your bars were lackluster. They weren't trash. They weren't trash can, but they were lackluster. Cardi's come through with the twerk music, come through with the pushing the envelope. You feel me? Money pushed the envelope. So, a lot of it pushed the envelope. And Cardi, that's part of her thing, pushing the envelope. But it's not just the visuals, it's the bars. I feel like Money pushed the envelope visually and pushed it with bars. There was some slick stuff being whipped out on that mic. Slick stuff. Now it ain't as fast as Nicki, but that's okay. Styles are styles. Music happens in the spaces, in the intervals, in the rests is where music happens. But I felt like the bars were lackluster from both Meg and Cardi. I feel like it was a missed opportunity. I could pick out maybe 2 bars in the song that was fire. I didn't even like the hook. I felt like, let me go a little bit deeper. I don't know who was with Cardi in the studio. I don't know if they were just trying something new with this song, with her flow and sort of her delivery. But I was hoping a song like this, WAP, this is straight up Cardi's deal. I'm trying not to go too hard. Straight up Cardi's deal. Her image, her brand, this was as on brand as you could possibly get. And somehow, I don't know if it was her idea, but somehow she got the direction to change her delivery to something softer and breathier. Like she's really relaxed on the mic during these verses, and the hook is really relaxed. And I feel like the song could have been done a lot more justice if we got the Bodak Yellow sort of that forward projecting Cardi delivery. That Money, that she's in there, that delivery, she's on the mic. It felt like she was just chilling, like she was just talking, and then the beat didn't help either. So my thing is here, if the beat is gonna be super duper sparse, like there's not a lot going on in the beat, then I feel like the MC should be bringing it with their vocal presence. It's the time for their vocal presence and their delivery to shine. So if the beat is chill and low key, even if you're going to sort of take a chill and low key position, this is how I feel. You're going to take a low key sort of delivery. let the presence be there. You may not need to be loud, yaga real loud on the mic if the beat is super chill, but don't whisper on that joint unless it's the whisper song. And it kind of worked out. It's a gimmick. Cardi was like whispering on that joint. I was waiting for her to come in with that, kick down the door with the stiletto heel and start rapping, start spitting. But that didn't happen for me. So I feel like it could have saved the song if Cardi's delivery was her same forward front position delivery where it's really heavy on the mic. It could have saved it. Even if the bars weren't there, the swag would have been there. I feel like the swag wasn't there. It didn't hit for me. I didn't feel the Cardi swag on this song. And it was just a missed opportunity. We're coming out of quarantine. They're doing their thing. They've got a lot of behind the scenes, which is super cool. I love all of that. I'm a filmmaker at heart as well. But it just wasn't hitting the way that I wanted it to hit. The visuals. Oh, let me not get to the visuals yet. And then Meg, I don't know what that was. I feel like Meg had the best bar or the best bars, maybe one or two of the song. And it was a Cardi song that she's featuring on. So that's kind of whack. Not that she had the best two bars, but that Cardi should be killing it more on her own song. But I feel like Meg was lackluster as well. You listen to Meg's music and she comes with it. And I feel like WAP, she did not come with it. I feel like the beat didn't suit her flow, and the flows that she did, how she put them together, just wasn't there for me. It just wasn't there for me. Another missed opportunity. And then the visuals, oh my Lord. Everybody's, oh my gosh, the visuals on, did you see her with that? And this was out, and this was out, and this was not covered, and this other thing. I feel like the visuals, let me give a disclaimer. I'm fully aware that we're coming out of quarantine. They filmed this during, COVID. I'm fully aware, social distancing, so on and so forth. There's certain things that kind of give you the limitations in shipping and building these sets and so on and so forth. A lot of work went into this video, and I'm not taking away from all of the myriad of people that it took to make this video happen. Y'all did your job to the best of your ability. Y'all tried something creative to the creative director and the director of the video and the producer and so on. The producers, y'all did what y'all came to do and accomplished what y'all came to accomplish. Your vision was there for this song. I personally feel like it's a missed opportunity. I feel like it could have went harder. But maybe it's the limitation because of COVID. Maybe it's that. I don't know. But yeah, I just didn't like it. The color scheme, the hallway, it was just a bore to me. Even Cardi, I feel like the Money video pushed the envelope more than WAP. And I feel like WAP should have been it. I feel like the best scene, the best part of WAP in terms of creativity was the opening. And you're coming up on the driveway and it's all CG and you've got, the fountain. That was super creative. And the water coming out of the thing, that was super creative. I liked that. But when we get inside, I don't know. It just wasn't there for me. It wasn't. I expect more. I expect cooler. I expect more creativity. I expect more appeal, more swag, more sex appeal, more just presence. Vocally, with the bars, all of that. But yeah, so Cardi, I rip Cardi every day. BX, she came a long way. She had to fight, claw her way to the top to get up here. Salute to Cardi. I'm a fan. This just wasn't my favorite song. Wasn't my favorite outing. All right, so now that WAP is done, let's talk about DC. DC fandom. They had their thing digitally. And I have to say, I was 150,000% surprised. 150,000%. Now, I haven't seen what's going on with The Flash, though I do know that they're doing some really cool things with Michael Keaton coming back. And so I'm super stoked, super jazzed about it. But I think I'm going to go one by one. Let's hit Wonder Woman. I'm super excited for Wonder Woman 1984. I love that they're doing Cheetah. I love that they're doing Maxwell Lord. I love that it's 1984. I love that we got all of the same cast and crew back, all things considered. I'm glad that Patty Jenkins is still at the helm of these films. I think she is why these films work. I feel like we could not have a male director direct Wonder Woman and it be stellar and it be fire. I feel like there would be something lacking. We need a woman's voice, a woman's eye, a woman's ear, and a woman's experience to tell the story of a female hero, of a woman hero. The first film I loved. It was great. It was wonderful, and everyone else loved it. It was and still is sort of a shining light of the essentially failed Warner Brothers DC universe, cinematic universe. Because it's really down the drain right now. It's in shambles. Wonder Woman and Aquaman are the shining lights, but Wonder Woman more so. The shining lights. The little bit of shine on the turd. That's Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Because I didn't even really like Man of Steel. I liked it, but I didn't. There are certain things I liked about it that were there, and other things that I was like, oh, missed opportunities. Just a horrible perspective. This whole universe was built on a horrible perspective on what these heroes are. Zack Snyder just talking about Ian Rand. If y'all don't know, go look it up. But how could you Ian Rand Superman and Wonder Woman and oh man, it was a travesty. Batman versus Superman. It was a travesty. Oh my gosh. But Shazam is riding. Well, Shazam righted the ship. Wonder Woman is riding the ship. Aquaman is riding the ship. We'll see what happens with this. I'm telling you, this Flash movie has been in development, hell swirling for so long. This Flashpoint film. I guess they're having trouble figuring out what this film is going to accomplish. Because for all intents and purposes, the Flashpoint film, with Ezra Miller's Flash and Michael Keaton as I'm assuming as Old Man Batman, and now Ben Affleck coming back, I guess as Young Man Batman or something. Well, not necessarily. Michael Keaton wouldn't be Old Man Batman. It would be something. It would be akin to the Flashpoint films, where Michael Keaton plays the Wayne father, who becomes Batman. But they could use this Flashpoint film to retcon Justice League and the Zack Snyder vision, to just completely wipe it, treat it like it was an alternate timeline, and then give us a new awesome spanking timeline that everybody's in. We could essentially reset everything. So it's not necessarily that everything didn't happen, but it could have happened in a different way. We could give the universe a new sheen, new color palette to work with, brighter, different, more robust characterizations of our heroes and so on, not so dark and bleak and negative and dour. So they could use this Flashpoint film to do that. And I hope that they do 100%, because I'm tired of seeing Superman sad and dour and depressed and beaten down. I'm tired of it. We have yet to get a triumphant Superman. And they tried, Joss Whedon tried in the Justice League to infuse these characters with some kind of life and not be so depressing, and try to infuse Superman with truth, justice, and the American way. But he could only do so much. He can only come in and salvage and reshoot, and he can only do so much. So, Wonder Woman 1984 Super stoked. Trailers are looking amazing. I'm very interested in the movie, even though I kind of know what the plot's going to be. I'm still very interested to see how that plays out. To see the development of these characters. I'm not happy about the casting of Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. Not happy at all. Wasn't happy when I heard about it. I'm not happy now seeing it on screen. 100%. I feel like it doesn't translate to me. Now, she could turn in a stellar performance and it could be amazing on screen. So we've just seen trailers. I've just seen trailers. I'm going by what I'm seeing in the trailers and the feel that I'm getting there, the swag that I'm getting dripping out the screen. Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, everybody else looks like they're on 100. Kristen Wiig looks like she's out of place. You know? Especially because they're going to, based off this most recent trailer where they showcased Cheetah, she's going to do sort of the descent into I was going to say madness, but I think maybe that whole statement started off incorrectly. She's going to do her sort of descent into evilness, and the thing that she wants the most is going to end up consuming her, you know, because whenever you wish for something, there's going to be a catch. And I can't buy it. I can't buy her fighting Gal Gadot. I just can't. The body style, the clothing that she had on with the long trench coat kind of cheetah print, I just didn't know. To hide her body and to obscure her face of a stunt person, like I can't buy it. I can't. And I want to. Cheetah is one of the most iconic Wonder Woman villains. I wish it was someone else with more physicality, someone who could do the stunts, someone who it seemed to be more believable. Because as it seems by the trailer, when Kristen Wiig goes full Cheetah and the full transformation with the furry todo, that they're going to go full CG double. And I don't like that. 100% do not like that. Aside from the janky CG and the unfinished CG of the new trailer that they put out, which it's going to be unfinished, the film is still being edited down. At least I'm hoping it's going to be edited down, because I think it was supposed to release last year and they've been sitting on it. So I'm hoping that they did a few more passes and that's not the final product, because that it looks like trash. 100% just gray, trash, obscured CG so that we don't see the imperfections. Like, oh my gosh, it looked horrible. You know? Yeah. And I kind of understand the character model, like why they changed the character model of Cheetah. Cheetah's a little bit more the comic books for boys, or marketed mainly to boys, and men read comics, it seems, more than women. I don't know if there have been any studies that to show that, but women tend to be more sexualized in comics. They want to catch the male's attention, to read it, to look at it. And so Cheetah's character model is often sexualized. She is an animal person, a humanoid animal. So she's got all of the female curves and dips and swerves and hips and whatnot, just with fur over it. So she's essentially naked, but she's got color on her body, you know? So you get to see all them curves. With this Cheetah, not so much. They added a lot of fur, a lot of fur, especially to the front. So you don't get, you don't get the womanly curves. You just get sort of an animal person, a missing link kind of thing. And I can understand why they did that. Considering it's 2020, we've got Patty Jenkins directing. We're not trying to super sexualize Cheetah, so I get it. But with so much more hair animations and hair simulations that have to go down, I wonder with the budget of what the budget of this film was. because the CG really didn't look good. The character, and not just the CG, because that could be fixed. The character model, I'm not in love with the character model at all. I'm not in love that they showcased a fight between Wonder Woman and Cheetah, and it's like dusk. It's in the night, so it's easy to obscure bad CG or rushed CG, rushed deadlines when you've got the Cheetah character essentially almost the same color as the background. And then it's supposed to be night, so it's a little darker, so you can get away with certain obscurity. It's a way to cheat it. For those who don't know, it's a way to cheat CG. I just didn't like it. Wasn't feeling it. I think Wonder Woman is doing some fire stuff, riding the lightning. We don't even know if she's going to have her invisible jet. I'm sure she will, but it won't be like invisible that she's sitting in it and we're going to see through it and we see her in it. The way that they did in the old school comic books and in the old Super Friends cartoons. I think she'll just have like a stealth jet, like a stealth bomber or whatever. It will just be a stealth jet and with cool space age style technology. The sounds of NYC, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, Wonder Woman's killing, but Cheetah doesn't seem like a strong enough villain for this film. She doesn't seem to be developed enough, and I don't like that. She's not as strong, at least according to the trailer. This is another like grain of salt because I haven't seen the film. I don't know what Kristen Wiig's doing, what kind of performance that she's turning in. It's just these moments in this trailer, this recent trailer, that makes Cheetah look like trash. That makes all of my fears come to life about Kristen Wiig being cast in this role. Or I should say, Kristen Wiig being miscast in this role. There are plenty of other women who could do it. Plenty of other women that I would buy it. Like I could buy that she can do this. She looks like a fighter. She looks like XYZ, you know? All right, enough about Wonder Woman. Let's move on to Suicide Squad. James Gunn killing the game. I think James Gunn is maybe one of the few people who could take Suicide Squad and make it into something awesome, something believable, something cool, something over the top, something silly, something so bad it's good, just something awesome. A cool little box of weird, a cool little box of, whoa, what is this? Let me open it, you know? Not some beam in the sky like freaking Goyer, right? Was it Goyer or was it Kinberg that did the last Suicide Squad? I do not remember. But they did the whole blue beam of this light in the sky and catastrophic world domination or whatever, and then had these lower level DC villains fight this essentially cosmic level magic character? What? With none of the heavy hitters pulling up? Not Aquaman, not Superman, not Batman. We had no one pull up for this catastrophic beam in the sky that some witch conjured up. So I thought that the entire sort of perspective or premise of the movie, the direction of the film, from even a writing standpoint, from even a treatment standpoint, was wrong-headed. Very wrong-headed. And I believe that James Gunn has righted the ship successfully. It wasn't completely a trailer, but it was sort of a rundown, an expose, some behind the scenes, some interviews, and just put together in a nice little vignette about the film and its characters. And I think it's going to be amazing. Take Suicide Squad and put them on a mission that makes sense. You're not going to send the Suicide Squad, lower level DC villains, to go fight the Super Friends, to go fight the Justice League. You're just not going to do that because they're not that. Excuse me. They're not the higher level villains. So have Amanda Waller send them out to go and take out this dictator and try to work together to go take out this dictator to shave off some years off of their sentence. You know, have her send them out on clandestine missions working for the American government as mercenaries. That makes sense. Akin to like Weapon X. That makes sense. Not some weird beam in the sky trying to like... Suicide Squad are not the Avengers. Nor are they the Justice League. It didn't make any sense, that first film. This makes sense. This approach looks fire flames all the way. I'm glad that Margot Robbie came back. I wonder what they're going to say to talk about Deadshot not being there. I love that Idris Elba's there. Excuse me. I love that Idris Elba's there. It's just, it looks like it's going to be a barrel of fun. 100%. Looks like it's going to be laughs. There's going to be gore. It's going to be rated R. Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is finally going to get to do something cool with cool choreography and cool weapons, because the emancipation of one Harley Quinn was not it. There were some good action scenes, but it just wasn't it. They essentially wanted to turn Harley Quinn into Jack Sparrow, and I don't think they were effective. Okay, so moving on. The Batman. Now, of all of the new DC films in production, even New Mutants, The Batman is the film that I feared would not work. At least the way that they were trying to do it. Well, not the way that they were trying to do it. I feared it was not going to work because Robert Pattinson was cast in the role of Bruce Wayne Batman. I was like, okay, this is going to be whack. This is going to be trash. And when I heard the director and the writers are trying to make it are trying to make it more detective oriented, sort of a Batman year 2. He's not necessarily Batman year 1. He's been in action. He's been walking around, but he hasn't been walking around for that long in the boots and in the cape and cowl. So I thought it was going to be trash. I was fearful. Robert Pattinson, I couldn't see Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne. And this trailer has won me over all the way. 100%. I'm down. I want to see this film. When we're able to go to theaters, I would love to see it in the theater if I can, if it's safe. I really liked at least according to the trailer, I like the perspective. It's like, if I had to describe it, it's like The Dark Knight meets Tim Burton Batman. And it's fire, flames. You've got the realism. I feel even more realistic than The Dark Knight. And Nolan was going for realism. Even more realistic than The Dark Knight, but then also dark and moody and intense, like Tim Burton's Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne Batman was. And I'm very happy about it. I'm very glad about it. I like this approach. It's not cartoony. It's not the Ben Affleck straight out of the comic kind of dude, hulking dude that could just break everybody's legs. And it's not the all the way sort of zany comic booky camp of Tim Burton. Nor is it the over the topness of Joel Schumacher. It looks super cool, super grounded. I love the muted colors, the cinematography. It reminds me of Tim Burton's Batman, where the it's sort of desaturated. You don't get any real super bright colors. Gotham is a dark place. Oh man, I love it. I like them keeping the it's so funny, keeping the eye makeup around his eyes. I mean, yeah, he looks super brooding and super goth and super scene and oh my gosh, I'm so intense, you know. It almost looks a little pretentious, but I had always laughed, even back at the Tim Burton Batman, because he'd come out of his cape and cowl, and you'd never see him rubbing that makeup off. It would be like this instant thing. And I remember in Batman Returns, at the end of Batman Returns, if you haven't seen it, please go see it. Spoilers right about now. End of Batman Returns, when Michael Keaton pulls off his mask, his rubber mask, and it's like rubber that just rips off his head. He all of a sudden, magically, his eye makeup disappears. And I always laughed at that. Like, what the heck? Why wouldn't they just have it on him? And so I think it was cool to have him with scenes where he's taking it off and we see the makeup and how it sort of, his sweat and so on made it sort of run a little bit. So it looks like dark around his eyes and then gray runny, kind of super cool, super edgy, you know, super intense. I don't quite like the missed opportunity though in the trailer and in the film. I don't know if it's a scene that makes it in the film during the trailer when they ask Batman, what are you? And he fights that one dude and breaks his whole, breaks him off. Pause. And he says, I'm vengeance. I don't like that. No, I'm revenge. Something like that. I don't like that. I know it's probably a nod to the Michael Keaton Batman, Tim Burton, when they ask him in that first film, who are you? What are you? I'm Batman. That's where it started. But I feel like they could have gone somewhere else with those lines to make it a little bit more iconic, to give a little bit more of an homage. I thought he was going to say, I am the Knight. And then the trailer was going to keep going, because right then, I think, or close to that point, they show the Batmobile, they show thing. I thought that he was going to then go on to like a monologue, like I am the Knight, I am the, the way that he used to do the way that the character used to do in the animated series. And that would have been a super cool homage to both the Michael Keaton Batman and Tim Burton and the cartoon, which is super iconic. But they didn't, and he's just vengeance. What is interesting, though, is that he kind of does have Daredevil vibes, Netflix's Daredevil, so that's a little bit... But we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. The suit is growing on me. I didn't like it when I first saw it, when they first revealed it, but it's starting to grow on me as something sort of cobbled together and realistic. Like this is a dude who's making this thing. So I feel like it's a thing. It's looking right. What else did I like about this trailer? The Catwoman. I liked the little bit that we got to see of her, because she looks like a Catwoman year 2 kind of thing. She's got the cat burglar face kind of thing to cover, but it's only halfway, and she's got the little ears. Super cool. I like that they get to fight. I like that they get to thing. I like that it's an interracial kind of thing, and we're getting a black woman, a Batwoman? No, a Catwoman of color. I think that's going to be pretty cool and pretty interesting. And let's see. We didn't get to see Andy Serkis's Alfred. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be super cool. We did get a glimpse of the Penguin, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm super stoked that the Riddler is the main villain and that he is a serial killer Riddler. Oh my gosh, it scratches the itch behind my ear, man. Like, for real. I remember back in with the Joel Schumacher era Batman movies and Jim Carrey playing the Riddler and doing his over the top thing, and from then I thought, yo, what if the Riddler was just a serial killer, dude? Like, that would be amazing. And he's over the top with his thing. Like, Jim Carrey just play the Riddler, but have the Riddler be a serial killer and do it all the comedy, all the shtick, all the pomp from the film, but just be a serial killer. Look like how you looked in 24, but be the Riddler. That would be amazing. Because it looked like it was going to go that way. In that film, Batman Forever, when we saw Edward Nygma in his little area in his house and how he had mad stuff hanging, and he looked like one of those individuals who would snap, So I'm super stoked about this. It also seems, and this is conjecture and theory now because I don't really know, but judging from the trailer, it seems like the Riddler is going to reveal certain things to Bruce Wayne. I feel like he's going to reveal corruption. I feel like we're going to be challenged, we're going to be morally challenged as an audience when approaching the Riddler, because I believe they're going to try to build the Riddler as a serial killer who understands or feels that his methods and what he's doing is justified and that it has to be done. I'm sure they'll depict him as crazy, but that moral sort of difference and quandary is going to be there. I'm wondering if this Robert Pattinson Batman is going to kill people. And if the Riddler is going to challenge him, because the Riddler's a serial killer, and it's going to go, well, I'm just killing for these beliefs, and you're killing for these beliefs. We are one and the same. It's sort of hearkening back to the Joker in The Dark Knight, telling Batman, if you leave them to their own devices, they will eat themselves. Do you think they really like you? The second that they find out, your flaws, or second that you mess up, or so on and so forth, you're going to be labeled just as, they're going to look at you just as crazy as they look at me. So we can sort of touch on that a little bit more in The Batman. At least that's how it seems. I'm gleaning all of this from just these disparate scenes that they edited together for the trailer, because it's not a linear thing generally. But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm super hyped for Robert Pattinson. I like it is a young Batman, so he is his having his hair sort of be able to twirl and whatever and wisp and so on, but then also having the crazy jawline and crazy bone structure and being intense. He's a great actor, phenomenal actor. And at this point, I'm like, listen, Robert Pattinson is very choosy and he's very picky with the roles that he plays. And whenever he hits a role or he picks something and he plays it, it gets nominated. It's critically acclaimed. Like, he has not had a miss yet in terms of critically acclaimed, high-level acting stuff, even if it's a little lower budget and not necessarily these big tentpole movies. So he's trying to be an actor's actor. He is an intense actor. So for him to go to read the script for the Batman and go, you know what, I want to be Batman. That's interesting. And I really like what the little bit that we hear of his American accent. I really like it. I like it. He's not necessarily voice modulating yet or anything to sound more gruff as Batman. Excuse me. But I like it. It's a young Batman. He's getting it together. So yeah, I'm eager to see what the next trailers are going to bring. I'm eager to see that film. Great job, DC. Y'all, DC has some potential hits here, especially deciding to make films in the DC universe that are not of the DC universe in terms of continuity. So movies like The Joker, not part of the continuity of the DC universe. So it's not, doesn't factor into the Justice League or anything, or Superman that we have right now, the iteration. The same thing with this Batman. This Batman is not necessarily connected to the Justice League or anything like that. It's its own thing. Nor is it connected to the Flashpoint films, which that Flashpoint film is in the universe. So I think they're finding a healthy balance little by little as to what to produce and what not to produce. It seemed like they wanted to go full Marvel to start without doing the groundwork, and it backfired. And so now it seems like they're reverting back to what Warner Brothers did before. We make films and they don't have to necessarily link together and so on. But in this day and age in 2020, Warner sees the bankability, sees the money that could be made from having a shared universe. So we have the shared universe and we have all of the offshoot movies that are doing their own thing happening simultaneously. And I think that's pretty cool. I think that's what's going to work for Warner Brothers, especially financially, because if one of you don't want to necessarily, being Warner Brothers, you don't want to necessarily hang all of your profitability with this IP on this shared universe that could possibly not work. So you want to have certain aces in the holes that you're going to dedicate money to. You're going to try to attract the big name directors to direct these sort of one-offs, standalones, separate trilogies where the director gets to do what they want and the writer and so on. They don't have to be bound by the restrictions of the universe that was set up when they got there. Where Marvel is just going hard body universe. Everybody's got to conform to the universe. So I think it's going to work for Warner. And as long as Warner starts putting out, or I should say, as long as DC starts putting out consistently good stuff, they're going to be all right. These characters should be printing money for Warner Brothers in film format. And right now, they're not quite doing that. So I hope it comes their way. I hope the business is there for them. Now, I feel like that's just about it. I don't really want to... There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And this podcast, I feel like not necessarily going into the craziness. We hear it every day. We're on our way to work and we've got the radio going. NYC Z100. You feel me? Shout out to Elvis Duran and the morning show. Shout out to all of them out there. Gandhi. You feel me? We hear all of the negative all the time. We've got the 24-hour news cycle. We walk around, CNN is playing at the gas station, at the pumps. So today I wanted to do something a little different. Let's talk a little bit of comic book stuff. Let's keep it light. You feel me? Talk about WAP a little bit and keep it moving. Keep it pushing. Oh man, now this is usually the time that I offer some kind of insight, some kind of advice, something that I've been going through, something that I've been thinking about. But I'm not going to do that this time. I'm not. I'm going to buck the format a little bit and just go right into Rex. I'm just going to recommend things. All right? Is that all right with y'all? I hope it's all right with y'all. Because I'm just going to get these Rex out and get on out your way this podcast. Next podcast, you best believe, fam, I'm cooking something. You feel me? Something's getting cooked in a pot. Some knowledge is going to be dropped. You feel me? Some life stuff is going to be dropped. I might even get a little bit vulnerable. I might even cry. We'll see what happens. You feel me? But you got to stay tuned. You got to come back next week for another podcast. You feel me? For the Social Millennial. Because we got it going on. In the words of Backstreet Boys. We got it going on for years. You feel me? You going to get it. You going to feel it. Through your speaker system. You feel me? But Rex, okay, so for films, I don't remember if I've ever recommended this film before. It did not do very well in IMDb. It did not do well in Rotten Tomatoes. It did not do well in Letterboxd. It did not necessarily do very well being reviewed by Google users. But do we care? No, we don't care because good movies are subjective. What's good to you may not be good to me. What's hilarious to me may not be hilarious to you. But I'm going to recommend it anyway. So, Balls of Fury. I don't think I talked about this. This film is awesome. I love this film. In all of its quirkiness, and even all of its camp, and even in all of its not funny, even in all of its slapstick humor. This is a comedy film, a sports movie, all rolled into one. And it's like, it's a comedy film, it's an action movie, it's a sports movie, rolled up, 100%. The synopsis is Randy Daytona was once. Oh, let me get my voice going. The synopsis. Randy Daytona was once a ping pong prodigy, but hasn't played since he blew his chance at a championship more than 20 years ago. When the FBI recruit him to infiltrate an underground ping pong death match hosted by the fiendish Pang, with a little help from Sensei Master Wong. Oh man, I skipped a whole line. Let's try that again. When the FBI recruit him to infiltrate an underground ping pong death match hosted by the fiendish Pang, Daytona isn't convinced he can hold his own. But with a little help from Sensei Master Wong and his niece Maggie, he is soon getting better. Can he help catch the geisha who killed his father? Dun dun dun! Yeah, this joint is fire. It's fire. It stars, Ben Fogler, who I assume some people would know from Mysterious Beasts. Yeah, Mysterious Beasts and Grindelwald. Maggie Q. Christopher Walken. Oh my gosh, great performance in this film. I'm telling you, Christopher Walken is in this. George Lopez is in this. Awesome. Oh my gosh. James Hong is in this. Thomas Lennon of Reno 911 fame. Robert Patrick of Terminator Judgment Day fame. Listen, this joint is fire. If you like slapstick, if you like Blades of Glory with Will Ferrell, you'll like this. This is fire. And then for my animated folk, my anime junkies, so to speak, I recommend Ouran High School Host Club. Now this anime did not get finished. Yeah, it ends on a cliffhanger. There's only one season. It did not get renewed for a season 2, but I adore it. I love it. For those who think that anime is just a whole bunch of action and people screaming and yelling because they've only seen Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball GT or Dragon Ball Super, anime is not just that. There are many, many, many different genres of anime. This anime is about... It follows Haruhi Fujioka, a scholarship student at Ouran High School, and the other members of the popular... Wait, what? Okay, yes. And it follows the other members of the popular host club. The romantic comedy focuses on the relationships within and outside the club and satirizes the cliches and stereotypes that endure in shoujo manga. Now, when we talk about members of the popular host club, for those who don't know what a host club is or a hostess club is, hostess clubs are a common feature in the nighttime entertainment industry of East Asian countries. They employ primarily female staff and cater to men seeking drinks and attentive conversation. The modern host clubs are similar establishments, which is sort of the flipped around, where primarily male staff attend to women. Host and hostess clubs are considered part of Mizushobai, literally translated to water trade, the nighttime entertainment business in Japan. So Ouran High School has a whole lot of different clubs. It's like a rich kid school. It's hard to get in. Has a whole bunch of different clubs, music and things like that. But there is these group of guys that created a host club for the high school girls. Ouran High School is a boarding school, so they're all living there. But it's a club made by this group of boys to cater to girls. And now this catering does not have to do with sexual things, but more so company and the allure of sexuality / sensuality without any sexual contact or sensuality ever happening. So it's a very interesting concept, and it's cool how they adapted the very adult world of host clubs and hostess clubs into a high school kind of thing, where they're just sitting down, having tea, talking. The girls are fawning over these boys because they look a certain way, and each of them and groups of them of the boys are set up in a way or marketed in a way, which is where the cliches come in from and stereotypes of shoujo manga, marketed to the girls in a certain way that sort of tickles their fancy, their sort of fetish kind of thing. But none of it is overtly sexual. No one's having sex with each other. This is not a prostitution ring at all, not even a little bit. So I think it's pretty cool. A whole lot of other drama happens, but this is just the setup. I'm gonna leave it up to y'all to watch it because it's a whole lot of surprises, even in the main sort of plot, the main structure of it. Because I didn't even go into the whole structure of it, but it is amazing. At first, when it was described to me, I thought, oh, this is going to be trash. This is going to be whack. I don't really like watching this. Anime, I'm an action guy. So I want cool fight scenes. I want cool drama, and I want the drama to be attached to the fight scenes, and we fight for honor and we fight for truth. And all, I'm that guy. So, I love my Rurouni Kenshins and my Cowboy Bebops and my Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, you know what I'm saying? I love me some of that. But this is not that, but is still pretty awesome. And I was pleasantly surprised being an action anime guy myself, Gundam and all that, growing up on watching Toonami and then getting into the animes and so on, getting into the actual productions outside of Toonami. So enjoy it. For those who love anime, I think it's still on Netflix or on High School Host Club. I could be wrong. It may not be there, but you can find it. Search it. There's places to find it, Crunchyroll, etc. So please enjoy both of these recs. Now, this is the part of the show where we're done, and I'm going to let y'all know to please, if you're listening to this on YouTube / watching this on YouTube, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can get the little ding ding, and YouTube can let you know, because YouTube is being weird that they don't let the subscribers know when I upload. So you need to hit the bell. Okay? Hit that joint. Smack it. Break it into pieces. Glue it back together and smack it again, because it needs to smack the bell so that I can send out some notifications to you so you know what the heck is going down. So if something happens like what happened last week, where the system was malfunctioning and distributing my joint, serving it out to the masses, and it ended up being late and I had to resend it out again, y'all will get the notification in the appropriate time. You won't then look and, oh my gosh, what the heck? and then won't come back and look and check up on me. You feel me? Check up on me, y'all. Sometimes I'm going through. The struggle is real. It's COVID. It's 2020. The struggle is real. Check up on a brother. Okay? Check up on me. But if you're listening to this on the podcasting server / service of your choice, Spotify, Apple, Google, etc., star me, review me, comment. Once again, subscribe for my Spotify users. Follow my podcast so y'all can get the notification for my Spotify premium users, etc. Please, pretty please. I already know y'all are listening to it, so you might as well just click on the bells and click on the subscribe button. Click on all of the buttons, every single button, so you can get every single notification. You feel me? Where if you want to submit any questions, any queries, any points of addendum, any concerns, pressing issues, anything that you want us to talk about on this here podcast that you want me to address, anything at all, because we will address every dang thing. You feel me? You can email us at thesocialmillennialpod at, I think it's the Social Millennial Podcast. Jeez Louise. I believe it's the Social Millennial Podcast at gmail.com, if you will, for mi gente de Puerto Rico. The Social Millennial Podcast at gmail.com. You can also message us on Twitter. We are on Twitter at Millennial Social. We are on Facebook and Instagram under the same handle at Social Millennial Pod. So if you want some cool little memes, follow me on Instagram. If you want some cool little sayings and even more so some more notifications as to when we upload these episodes, get to us on Twitter. Follow, like, message us. We're out here, fam. We're on everything. You feel me? If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, let me know that you don't like it in the comments. If you disagree, tell me why in the comments. This is about a dialogue, y'all. This is about us millennials and etc. everyone else having fun, having a nice little dialogue, talking, reminiscing, nostalgia. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what it is, and y'all can make it do what it do. So I'm asking y'all to make it do what it do. I'm making it do what it do by serving y'all this podcast. You feel me? I'm making it do what it do by opening up my brain about what I think about XYZ and fulano de tal and whatnot. You feel me? So y'all let me know what y'all are thinking. What's on your mind? Nothing's off limits. Nothing is taboo. If y'all want to try to message me and curse me out, do that. I know you're out there. You feel me? You get heard. So this is the end of the show. For those newcomers, this is the end. Make sure to tune in next week, because we're going to go deep into a little bit of advice, a little bit of life lessonry that I picked up along the way. You feel me? It's going to get vulnerable. It's going to be cool. It's going to be thought provoking. And so I hope that you're there, and I hope that y'all don't miss it. All right. So tell your friends about me, share it, like it, let everybody know about the Social Millennial Podcast, because we are already growing. We're going to be having a little celebratory podcast. You feel me? A little celebratory thing going down, because our numbers are going up and people are listening. People are hearing. People are liking. You feel me? So we're going to do a little celebratory thing in the coming months. And we are definitely going to be kicking off the visual component to the podcast. So y'all will get to see me do this podcast live. And I will more than likely have my guests lined up at that point. Now, because of COVID, I am trying to set up the ability to be able to have individuals call in to the studio. Who do we have on line one, Margaret? You feel me? Call into the studio. I've got some cool people that I want to bring on, that I've been waiting to bring on for a minute now. But we'll have a whole big kickoff too of the visual component. So those listening on YouTube or / watching on YouTube, you're going to have something to watch because it's actually going to be a video. You feel like a video with people moving and camera angles and lighting and different guests. And y'all could just see me rant, essentially. See me rant into a mic. And it'll be great. But for now, it is what it is. The struggle is real. We're developing. We're growing. And y'all can help us grow. Listen, we ain't asking for no money for freezies. We're just asking you to hit that like button. Give me that review. Hit them stars. Hit that subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Follow the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts at. That's all we're asking. Ain't no money. This is not behind a paywall. We're not on Patreon. This is an OnlyFans. You feel me? Just enjoy it, y'all. Sit back and enjoy. And if y'all want to enjoy more, get the notifications, all right? So stay strong. Be strong. Wear your damn masks. Sick and tired of seeing these niggas out here not wearing no masks when they should be wearing masks. Wear y'all masks. Social distance until the time is right where it is where you should not be. So do your thing, wear appropriate, be safe, be strong. We're going to make it out of here. Do not stay in depression. Walk up out of it. Talk to people. Find your happy place. Do what you got to do. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a trained professional, but I'm just saying, don't stay there, y'all. All right. Despair is a deep place and we don't need to go there. So I'll see y'all next week. Stay up, stay strong. Peace.
Walking through my city, so many people passing me by, but nobody seems to know why. Street lights saying stop and go, cars zipping past me to and fro. Does anybody know now? Oh, how time is slipping. 'Cause under the surface of the push and shove is New York City. The hustle and bustle of this town I love, that's New York City. Could there be a future here? Oh, so many people giving their sweat and tears. Does someone know the way? I'm sick of taking it day by day. Oh, 'cause under the surface of the push and shove is New York City. The hustle and bustle of this town I love. Under the Broadway lights, performers working day and night, filming for the TV screen, the movie house and in between. Heights are heights and zoo to zoo, magic that you always knew. Stadium sounds the love about in the patter of little feet. Looking out for our fellow man, lending a helping hand, that's New York City. Coming together and taking a stand, that's New York City. 'Cause under the surface of the push and shove is New York City. Looking out for our fellow man, lending a helping hand, that's New York City. Coming together and taking a stand, it's New York City. The hustle and bustle of this town I love is New York City. That's New York City. That's New York City. That's New York City.